On to a little bit of sports, D-Lo, man. So you showed me a picture of four teams, four sets of fives.
This is gonna be tough,
From
man. I
point,
don't
it's
know
gonna
where
be
this conversation.
hard,
I
dog.
don't know
It's
where
gonna
this
be
conversation is
hard,
gonna go.
bro.
I'm just let you know.
Bro, it's gonna be hard, bro, because it was four teams, all from point guard to center, with some all-time greats on each of these teams. So, D-Lo, what team are you picking, my boy?
So I mean, listen. This is a very, 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 probably one of the toughest decisions when it comes to sports that I've ever had to do. But I think I would choose team number 3. And team number 3 has Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, Giannis, Joker, and Dirk Nowitzki. And the reason I picked them is because, first off, I think that is they have it's the tallest team that
Number
average
one,
height.
it is the tallest team, 100% average height it is.
Right. All of them pretty much are a bucket other than Magic. But I mean, in Magic's rookie year,
he was still a bucket though.
I mean, Magic wasn't really known for scoring. Magic was a facilitator. Like LeBron is Magic to me. I've always said this from the get go. Magic is, LeBron is Magic 2.0. Like LeBron
100%.
can go get you a bucket when he needs to, but more if it's up to him, he's gonna facilitate, get everybody else involved. But all of the others are, well, not even really Giannis, but Giannis he can get a bucket if in dire straits, but he's not just an automatic bucket. Jokic, facilitator as well, but he can get you a bucket. He can kill you in many ways. We all know about Michael Jordan, and
100%.
Dirk Nowitzki was, a killer as well.
So the only thing that I worry about team 3 is, other than Dirk, for real, do they have a deep range shooter is what I'm trying to figure out. And I know that Magic Johnson is going to be able to get everybody open. He's going to facilitate. So is Joker. So as awkward as his game is, I swear to God, I can't hate his game, but I can't hate him no more, man, because he's a bucket. But like, other than Dirk, who's going to hit the shot whenever? Well, I'm not going to say hit the shot, but who's going to hit because I know who's going to hit the shot.
Yeah,
it's
you
be
know
Jordan.
who's going to demand it. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. But like, if you need a 3, who's going to get that? That's what I want to know. But I know Dirk can get one, but can he create that shot for himself is what I want to know. But the team that I was looking at, bro, and this is a hard one, dog. This is a hard one because I'm looking at the facility. I'm looking at team 1. And the reason why I'm looking at team 1 is because I got Chris Paul, which is the point guard.
Mm-hmm.
You got Black Mamba. That we all know Black Mamba is Jordan 2.0. You got KD, you got the Slim Reaper who going to get you a bucket from anywhere on the court. You got the second all-time leading scorer now behind LeBron James and Kareem. And you got the dog who is KG. So I was looking at team 1. The only reason why I didn't say team 2 is because I don't know on any of these other teams who John Stockton going to guard. No idea.
See, and that's why I was like, because the question I have is, who do you think is the worst player out of this group of teams?
100% John Stockton.
And that's where you would be messed up. Because I said it too.
Who do you think is the worst? Who do you think is the worst?
Honestly, it's in.
I think I know who you're going to say. I think I know who you're going to say. I think I know who you're going to say is the worst.
It's honestly between, if we're going to say it, my initial thought is it was John Stockton, CP, D Wade, or Karl Malone. And the reason I say Karl Malone is because without John Stockton getting him to sit on the pick and roll,
100%.
Does he score all those points? I mean, because we know he's like what, top 3, top 4 in scoring,
number 3, I believe, 3 or 4
all-time scoring. So so I mean, but without John Stockton doing the pick and roll, does he get all those points? Dwayne Wade, while he was very explosive early in his career, he kind of tapered off. And LeBron coming to Miami allowed him to elongate his career even more. CP, I love CP,
And this is
man.
this is Clipper CP. This is Clipper CP though. This
Right.
is prime CP, dog.
Yeah.
Like,
So I mean, I don't know.
but it's a tough
man.
combo because you got the most on team 2. You got the most dominant player in NBA history in Shaq.
Right.
And then you got LeBron, who is in the GOAT conversation. But then you got John
100%.
Stockton, the AI. AI is one of the greatest killers in the league as well. In his time, pound for pound, one of the greatest killers ever. And then you got Big Fundamental and the best power forward ever on team 2. So it's like,
let's talk about it. Let's stick with that real quick. Let's
talk about it.
And so you said you couldn't choose team 2, and the reason that I thought about choosing team 2 is because of the pick and roll action with all of those in all 3 of those big men that John Stockton has in the big fundamentals with Shaq and with LeBron. And then AI is an ISO guy. He can get you a bucket whenever. But
facts.
Tim Duncan is probably one of the most underrated GOATs that there is out there. Nobody really talks about Tim Duncan when it comes to how great of a player he was. But I mean, had he not lost to LeBron in the Heat that one year when Ray Allen hit the shot, he might have been undefeated 6-0 with rings. And then are we talking about him as being the greatest of all time with all the stats that he does, all the MVPs he has, all the finals MVPs that he has? So, I mean, he's one of the most underrated GOATs that there is out there.
Definitely the greatest power forward of all time in my eyes, bro. I'm not going to lie. Like, there's no question. But then you got team 4, D-Lo. You got the greatest shooter of all time. Yep. You got one of the greatest centers of all time, the greatest shooter of all time being Steph Curry. You got one of the greatest centers of all time, Hakeem Olajuwon. You got Flash, just like D-Lo said. We were talking about D-Wade. You got Larry Legend. And you got Karl Malone. And Larry Legend is one of the most underrated players in NBA history, too, because there's a lot of people who I talk to in my circles with gaming and 2K that say Larry Bird is one of the worst basketball players ever. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Probably one of the greatest shooters. They would be greatly mistaken because Larry Legend was a hooper. What do you mean? So, but the question I want to ask though is, what team do you see? What's the worst team on this list? That would be the question. That would be the question.
That's where I really struggle, man. Like
that would be the question.
I don't know, man, because it's hard for me to say this because my guy is on this team.
Fact.
But it's.
And you can't say
dominant guy. You got the
most dominant. You can't say two. You cannot say two,
as well as the best power forward of all time. But because of John Stockton and AI and their height and everybody else's height, all the other teams' height, they're at a disadvantage.
They are. They're
at a disadvantage. I mean, and then you mentioned 3-point shooting for Team 3. Team 2 doesn't really have any 3-point shooting either.
Very true. So that's true. They ain't got no shooters. I
don't want to say team 2, man. And we'll put up the picture so you guys can see it.
Yeah, facts.
And make a decision for yourself. But I don't want to say team 2, but
the best shooting team is team 4 for sure. The best shooting team is team 4 for sure. Hands down, the best shooting team. But they're also what you thinking, team 1?
Bro. Oh, best shooting team?
Yeah. Because you got Larry Bird and Steph Curry. Team 1 or team 2?
Team 3.
Team 3 is the best shooting team? I'm talking about like shooters, like 3-point shooting?
Joker, Dirk, and MJ. MJ wasn't a 3-point shooter. But he was a scorer.
Agreed, but so was but you can put if that's the case, then you can put Kobe in that scorer category because he was just like MJ. But you got Chris Paul and you got KD. But then you look at team 4, you can put D Wade in that same category with Jordan as far as shooting. But then you got the greatest shooter of all time and then one of the other greatest shooters of all time on team 4 with Larry Bird and Steph Curry.
This is
a hard debate. This is a hard debate.
This came from my boy. This came from my brother, Uncle Demi, if you don't know. But and we gotta get him on the show.
We got to get him on the show. We got to get him on the
But
show.
this, I don't know where. Whoever made this up, shout out to you.
Because that was a hard one. That's a hard one.
This is
bro.
tough. I was thinking like, man,
one.
first off, who's the best player? That's where the ultimate debate comes. Who's the best player?
Who's the best player on? Yeah. And that's a debate in itself right there. Because some people are gonna say Team 3 got the best player. Some people are gonna say Team 2 got the best player. But some people are gonna say Team 1 got the best player. So
exactly
between Jordan, LeBron, and Kobe. So I mean,
exactly.
Then some people might say Team 4 got the best player because Steph is on the team.
Right.
Because Steph is in that is getting into that GOAT conversation too. So like, dog.
Who do you think is the worst player? You didn't answer.
Who do I think is the worst player in this on these like totally on this picture?
Yeah. Yes.
John Stockton.
It's no way you thinking it's John Stockton, bro.
It's John Stockton, bro. It's not. Who do you think it is?
John Stockton averaged 17 points, 10 assists,
almost 11 assists, almost
11 assists, and 2.5 steals.
But the reason why I'm saying that is because out of these three point guards on the other team,
100%.
he's the most vulnerable because I don't see him guarding Chris Paul, Magic Johnson, or Steph Curry. So in a one-on-one situation, he's getting cooked to me. Okay. Unless they move AI to the PG, but then you got Michael Jordan going off, you got Kobe going off, and you got Dwayne Wade going off. So that is going to exploit that mismatch. I think he's a defensive mismatch, bro. I understand that he was in, but a lot of his steals weren't on ball steals; they were in the lane steals.
Yeah.
So he playing off ball, getting lanes because Karolinko was their defensive stopper whenever he was on the team.
Karolinko.
So, yeah, Andre Karolinko.
You in two different eras.
But he played with them. No, hold on. No. Byron Scott.
Byron Scott and then,
Byron Scott.
What's my boy name? Not Havlicek. Hornacek. Jeff
Hornacek. So he was playing. So Steve. So
Karolinko. Dang.
I just say Karolinko. But there wasn't Karolinko with them like early in his career, like 1 or 2 years maybe.
No, never. They never seen each other. Okay. Yeah, check it out. I'm 100% sure on that one.
I'm gonna leave it alone because I don't know. I don't know 100%, but I could have sworn he was on the court with them at one point. But either way, but like you said, you had Byron Scott, you had Hornacek, so he was playing a lot of off ball. So whenever he was in the lane, getting them 2 steals a game, so I can see that. But he ain't getting them on ball. If he's on ball, I feel like he's getting cooked. So who do you think is the worst player on this picture?
I mean, I already said it. I honestly know he's one of the top scorers of all time, but I think it's Karl Malone.
Karl Malone? You think Karl Malone's the worst player on this list?
I think it's Karl Malone. I know that's blasphemous to say with how he is, where he's rated scoring wise, but who is he without John Stockton? And who is John Stockton without him? So it's between those two.
It's between those two. It's the 2 Jazz players for sure. And then I'm not going to even answer who I think is the best player on this picture because I'm not getting into that debate. But if I had to pick a team, bro, damn, I think I'm still saying Team 1, bro. I think I'm still saying Team 1.
I mean, I can respect it. This is a tough decision.
But I mean, y'all let us know in the comments whenever D-Lo put the picture up on the screen. Y'all let us know in the comments who you think winning this because I think this is going to be a good discussion in them comments, bro. I think it's going to be a good discussion in them comments.
Yeah, and I'm looking. Oh, you might be right. They played like 1 year together, I believe. Andre Karolinko and John Stockton. So John Stockton retired in 2003, and Andre Karolinko came into the league in 2002. So they played 2 years together.
2 years together. Okay, that's what.
So he was right.
But like you said though, it was mostly Hornacek and Byron Scott that was guarding ball whenever. Yeah, because
not Byron Scott. Is it Byron Scott?
By Russell.
Yeah, Byron Russell. Yeah,
Brian Russell. But it was listen, bro. That's a hard one. That's definitely a hard one because I don't know who went in that joint, dog. No idea.
Yeah.
No idea.
It's a good debate though. It's always good to see and discuss stuff like that.
100%.
Get your brain working, see if you can remember who did what, who was influential certain decisions. And I mean, shout out to whoever created this because I was really struggling last night to figure out how to discuss this.
Exactly. Struggling, bro. I had no idea what team to pick, and I had no idea where this conversation was going to go. But I'm glad it went the way it did because the comment section is going to go crazy. The comment section about to go crazy.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching this video. If you've made it this far, there's a video on the screen right here. Go ahead and click on that. I think you're going to love it. And also, you can find us on all your major streaming platforms, wherever you find your podcasts.